Hello, I am Kat Methan and I am honoured to be here with Samsung UK teaching some yoga for you over the course of a 3-part series. So today's practice is yoga for beginners, but what I would say is this is really yoga for everyone. Even if you have practiced yoga a lot, I would really recommend coming to this practice and just kind of getting lost in a really simple basic flow. And for those of you that are new to yoga, then this is going to be a really great place for you to start. So before we get started, I just wanted to talk to you about a few of my favorite Samsung products. I have got the Samsung S20 Ultra phone, which is just beautiful, and I have got the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. And I want to talk to you about how I use them. So the watch for me is obviously a daily thing. I put it on every morning. And for me, it's about holding myself accountable, less about tracking how many calories I've burnt. It's this holistic approach to wellness. So I hold myself accountable. I set the workout or the flow, and I can see that I have trained or worked out or done yoga for that amount of time. I can also track my caffeine intake, my water intake, my steps, my sleep. So there's so much that I can do through the watch, and then that all translates over to the phone where I have the Samsung Health app, which is basically like the hub of all of my health. It's like my holistic hub, what I like to call it. So in the Health app, it brings in all of the data, and then I can see that and kind of watch it and track it over time and see what changes I am making. As well as this, the Samsung Health app has a link to the Calm app. So if you are into meditation or mindfulness, or it's something you want to get into, then I massively recommend getting yourself one of these, getting linked up to the Calm app, and then having it all in that one place together. So I'm going to put the technology down now, as much as I love it. Oh, and the one other thing I didn't say about the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 is that it has the breath function, and that's probably the one I actually use the most. So it has the breath guidance, and it gives these beautiful little beeps. You inhale, you exhale, and it just really softly guides you through. So today, obviously, you're going to have your breath guided by me, but when I'm not here to guide you, then this can definitely do the job. So just before we get started, a couple of tips. Come to this practice with an open mind. You do not have to be a certain way to do yoga. You don't have to be flexible or be strong. We all start somewhere, and it's all part of a journey. And you know, any time when you need to just take a moment out, you'll just come to a child's pose, which I will show you in the practice, and you can take a breath there. So open mind, take moments of pause whenever you need to, and let's go. So if you have a block or a cushion or something you can sit on, I recommend just grabbing that now, popping your bottom on it. And you can either come to a kneeling position like this, but you might find that that's a little bit too much pressure on the knees, or you could come to a cross-legged position, whichever one feels more natural for you. And by all means, you can get cushions and blankets to bolster up underneath your knees. We're just going to get started by what I like to call arriving. So arriving in the space, arriving in our practice. So place the hands down in the lap and close the eyes. Let's take a big shoulder roll going back. Lifting through the chest. So as, like I say, we arrive in our space, just take a little scan of the body, all the way from the tips of the toes, all the way up to the crown of the head, just checking in, asking yourself, how do I feel today? How does my body feel today? How do my emotions feel today? Just taking these few moments to observe and become aware of yourself. And then come to focus on the breath, not making any big changes, no judgment on whether the breath should be this or that, just allowing it to be in its natural rhythm. Noticing each inhale and each exhale. And in a moment, we'll move on to some guided breath work. Something, like I say, that if you have the watch, you can do without my guidance. Today, you have my voice to guide you. So we're going to be inhaling to the count of 4 and exhaling for 4. So simple. Each breath going in through the nose and out through the nose. I'm going to count you through. Let's take a releasing breath to start. Inhale. Let it go. And we'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Allow the breath to come back to its natural rhythm. So just really sitting with the body before we move on to our flow. Fluttering open the eyes. And come to find, if you're not already, yourself in a cross-legged position. You can stay up on your block if that feels good. You're going to place the hands down on the knees. You're going to inhale and really lift the chest. So you're really like that, showing that proud chest. And then as you exhale, round the spine and drop the head. Inhale, find the heart lift. And exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Coming all the way back to neutral. Left hand comes down by the side of you. Sweep the right arm up and over. So we start to open through the right side body. You want to keep the bottom grounding onto your mat or onto your block. Try not to let this arm come a support. So we want this hand to be able to float off. So we're using the obliques, the muscles in the side of the core, to keep us lifted. And see if you can pivot that chest up towards the sky. And staying with those nice deep inhales and exhales as we move through our practice today. Coming back through the center, place right hand down, sweep left arm up and over. Again, really reaching long, so feeling that length as you draw through the left fingertips, and you feel that stretch coming all the way down the arm, down the left side, all the way down into the left hip. Pivoting that chest up to the sky. And coming back through neutral, place hands on the knees again. 2 more of these. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Come back through neutral, roll over the knees and come onto an all-fours position. Now, at any point through our practice that it gets a little too much, I'm going to show you child's pose, and this is where you will come to any time where you need to take a pause. You'll sit back on the heels. You can have the knees together or a little wider, and just walk the arms out in front. Forehead melts down towards the mat. It doesn't have to be touching the mat. It's just a gesture of where it's heading, just releasing tension through the neck. Let's take 2 breaths here. So knowing that this is very much your safe space, you can come back to this pose anytime you need it. And then moving back through that all-fours position. Working through cat and cow. So inhale, lift the chest for cow pose. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Come back to neutral and just start to move the body forward. So rocking forwards and backwards, side to side. So we're just waking up through those wrists. In yoga, we do a lot of work on the wrists. So we're always moving through what's called vinyasas, things like that, chaturangas, downward facing dogs, and they can all add a lot of pressure on the wrists. So we want to make sure that we're just giving them a nice little warm up. If it feels good to you, you could take the tops of the hands down. Just be aware that if that's causing a little bit too much pressure, to ease away. Nice. Place the hands down near the top of the mat. Now tuck under the toes. You're going to shift the bottom back. So we're starting to work this nice long diagonal line up through the arms. Head drops down between the arms. Start to power through the legs as you start to straighten the legs, and the bottom goes up to the sky for a downward facing dog. Now keep the knees slightly bent. If you're newer to the practice, you might find that you need to keep your knees bent for quite a while. Really what we want to focus on here is this nice long spine. Rather than straightening the legs and feeling like you get this rounding through the spine, we'd rather the knees were bent, the spine was long. Take an inhale and come up onto the toes, shift the shoulders forwards and come to find a high plank. So pushing up that space between the shoulder blades up to the sky. And then take an exhale and take it all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot between the hands, drop the back knee down. Ground down through the left hand, right arm reaches up to the sky, easy twist. Can you gaze up to the sky? Option here, tuck under the toes, lift the back knee. No worries. If you want to stay in that modified variation, absolutely fine. So pushing through that back heel, getting a nice stretch through the calf muscle. Place the right hand down, pick up the right foot, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps between the hands, drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. Left arm sweeps up to the sky and the gaze goes with it. Grounding down through that right hand. Option to tuck under the right toes, lift the right knee. And really pushing away through that back heel to get that extra stretch through the calf muscle. And stay connected to breath. So in yoga, really what we're looking to do is to connect movement to breath. Release left hand down, take an exhale, take it all the way back to your downward facing dog. Now from here, start to walk the feet in towards the hands. And keep the feet about hip width apart. Bend through the knees and let the head just hang heavy. Take hold of opposite elbows. Allow gravity to do a bit of the work here. Close the eyes and just sway gently side to side. Shifting the weight towards the front of the feet. Release the hands down. Slowly peeling the body all the way up to standing, head and neck come last. Nice. Come to stand with the feet together. Hands down by the side. We're going to work through some sun salutations. So this is a really nice way to warm the body up for a flow. We're going to modify our sun salutations. So stay with me. And of course, if you've done a lot of yoga before, you can do any variation that you wish. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees forward, fold. Inhale, lift the chest, take the hands to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the hands down, step it back to a high plank. Let's hold here for an extra breath. Inhale. Exhale, drop the knees down, keeping the hips low, bend the elbows, keep the elbows close to the body as you lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Release the toes, inhale, baby cobra. So in your baby cobra, it's just the chest that's lifting. Can you release the hands and really work into those lower back muscles? Place the hands down, tuck under the toes, send the bottom back through almost a child's pose, but before you get there, you start to lift and make your way into a downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, start to walk those feet towards the hands. Lift the chest, create space again, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. And exhale those hands through heart center. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, hands to shins. Exhale, place the hands, step it back to your high plank, and then straight away dropping the knees down and slowly lowering with control all the way down to the mat. Inhale, find that baby cobra again, maybe taking the hands off. Exhale, tuck under toes and make your way back to your downward facing dog. So like I said, just warming up the body, moving with the breath to really start to connect to your yoga practice through these sun salutations. On your next inhale, you can start to walk the feet towards the hands. Lift the chest, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky, and then exhale the hands through heart center. So last one of these, inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift chest, hands to shins. Exhale, place the hands, step it back to high plank. Let's hold again on this one. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the knees down, slowly lowering all the way down to the mat. Inhale, let's come to high cobra. So the hips stay down, the elbows stay bent, and the elbows are hugging in towards the body as you open through the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, push it all the way back. Find your downward facing dog. Holding here. On your next inhale, start to walk those feet towards the hands. Lift the chest, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale the hands down through heart center. Now bring the hands to the hips. You're going to stand on the left leg. And you lift this right knee in towards the chest. So just working with a little bit of balance. And then we're going to take this right leg all the way back, step it as far back as you can. And maybe you don't step it back as far as you can actually go, so you just want to widen that stance. Hips are facing forwards. We're in a high lunge. Take the arms up to the sky. Can you maybe even take your gaze up to the sky as well? Really strong through that back leg. You want to think about the inner thighs hugging together to create this really strong line of energy all the way through the midline of the body. And then open it out to warrior two. So warrior two, you'll see I went from being on my back heel, with my back heel up, to pivoting so that the outside edge of my foot is aligned with the edge of the mat. Left leg is still bent. Reach the arms long and gaze towards those left fingertips. Holding here. We're going to fly our warrior twice. Inhale, lift up, reach the arms high. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, bend the left knee. This time, left elbow comes onto the left knee, coming into extended side angle pose. Right arm sweeps up and over. So you've got this nice long diagonal line from the right fingertips all the way down to the right foot at the back of the mat. And in time, maybe today, you'd be able to lift this left arm off without having to rest yourself on that left arm. Take an inhale, come back to warrior two, and then we'll exhale. We're going to windmill those arms down to frame the left foot, step it back to our plank, drop the knees down, and then slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale for either a cobra or a baby cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Really nice. Reconnect to the breath.
And starting to walk those feet in towards the hands, and then just peel the body all the way up to standing, head and neck coming last. Hands come back to the hips. We go to the other side. So ground down through the right foot, and the left knee comes into the chest. So find that little bit of balance first, and then start to take the left leg all the way back. How far can you take it back? Big, big step. Reach the arms up. It's your high lunge. So pushing out through that back heel, really drawing the thighs together, feeling a lift through the core. The right side glutes, well, both side glutes are switched on. They're activated. Maybe taking the gaze up towards the sky. And then open it out for a warrior two. So remember, that back foot is the one that does a big pivot, and we stay bent through that right leg. Come low into the lunge here, looking towards the right fingertips, and then we'll fly our warrior twice. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, coming back down. Then right elbow comes onto the right knee. Sweep the left arm up and over. Extended side angle pose. Pivoting this baby finger towards the ground, so we're externally rotating through the shoulder. And finding that nice long stretch all the way through the side body. On an inhale, coming back to your warrior two. And then exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the right foot, step it back to that plank position, drop the knees down, and then slowly lower the whole way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, take a downward facing dog. Option, as always, to take a child's pose. And then walking the feet towards the center of the mat, bringing the hands towards the center of the mat as well, and then rolling the body up to standing. We're going to come to work into tree pose, Vrikshasana. So, grounding through the left side first. Your options for tree pose are to take the sole of the right foot to the inside of the thigh, the inside of the calf, or you can place the foot down and just have it resting on the ankle. What we don't want to see is the foot going into the knee. The knee is a hinge joint, it goes forwards and backwards. It's not really meant to go side to side, so we don't want to add that pressure there. So placing that foot wherever you feel like it works for you. Hands to heart center. Find your gazing point. So in yoga, it's a lot about balance. So find your gazing point, what we call our drishti, and try to focus there. Now, can you take the right hand onto the right knee? Left arm reaches up to the sky, and maybe you can take a little stretch over to the right side. Breathing. Working with all of those little wobbles, no worries if you fall. Coming all the way back, hands to heart center. And release the right foot down. Awesome, well done. So this time, grounding through the right foot, lifting up the left, placing it wherever you need to on the leg. Hands come to heart center first, hips are facing forwards. Lift through the chest. So finding that balance, finding the stability, then maybe placing the left hand onto the left thigh, reaching the right arm all the way up. Inhale, find that length, and then as you exhale, maybe taking a little stretch over to the side. Working with the breath. Feeling into all of those little wobbles. I'm wobbling too, we're in this together. Coming back to center, hands come together.
And release that foot the whole way down. Amazing, well done. Come to seated. So sit down on your mat as gracefully as possible. Reach the legs out long. Now, if you have a block or a cushion even, just pop it underneath the bottom if you've got quite tight hamstrings. If not, you can just keep a bend in the legs. Either way, you know that you'll just be easing away from the stretch slightly. I don't want you to harm yourself, so just be aware of overstretching here. Take a nice big inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Reach the crown of the head forwards. The legs stay switched on. So even if your knees are bent, everything is still working. It's all still activated. Take an inhale, lift, reach, and then exhale, move forwards. And you can close the eyes here. Two more breaths. And then lifting the body all the way up. Nice. So we're going to come into Navasana boat pose. So bend the knees. Lots of variations here. So your modified boat pose, you're going to take the hands underneath the thighs, sit back so that you're kind of balancing, but you can keep the toes down. The next variation would be to lift the feet. Then you could take the arms away. If you're feeling like you want a bit of a challenge today, maybe you take the arms up and the legs up. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Now bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. So you're going to let those knees drop out to the side like a butterfly. And again, you could put cushions underneath the legs, or you could sit yourself up on a block. Either way. Take a nice big inhale, find that length again, and then exhale as you move into the forward fold. Again, trying to keep the spine long instead of rounding it. And close the eyes. Two more breaths here. Inhale, coming all the way up. Take the hands to the outside edges of the knees and just give the knees a little helping hand, bringing them up. Now, feet are about hip width apart. Shift yourself towards the front of your mat slightly and reach the arms out long. Slowly, we're going to engage the core as we slowly work our way down onto our backs. Even slower. Slower than you're going already. And you might find the body start to shake a little bit. That's just those core muscles firing up. Even slower maybe. And release. Beautiful. Just shift those knees side to side. Okay, coming into a half bridge. So you might need to move your feet a little closer to the bottom. Just see if you can reach the back of your heel with the fingertips. And then feet are about hip width apart. As we inhale, we start to lift up from the hips. Lifting, lifting, lifting. And if you've got a block or a cushion, you could all put that underneath you and have a little restorative moment here. Put it underneath the sacrum. Or you're going to interlace the hands behind the back, wiggle those shoulders, create a bit more space for the hips to lift. And just make sure you keep the head and the neck in a straight line. Legs are parallel, glutes are activated here, protecting the lower spine. Close your eyes. We'll take another 2 big breaths here. And then slowly releasing. Again, just drop those knees side to side. And then you're going to take the knees into the chest.
And take the arms out in either to cactus, which is with these bent arms, or you can have T-shaped arms if you have space. Drop the knees over to the right side, head goes over to the left. So just taking a nice opening twist here. Work with some nice big deep breaths. This is one of those lovely postures where you can really feel into the space that we create in the body. And another 3 more breaths here. And then bringing those knees back through center. Take them over to the left side. Head goes over to the right. Close the eyes. And again, just really connecting to that breathing. See if you can notice the side body all cracking open. Space for the breath. And then those knees come back through center. Hug the knees into the chest. And then you're going to drop the legs all the way down to the mat. Most important part of our practice, our Shavasana. So have the feet separated and allow the feet to just drop open. Palms of the hands face upwards. And just move the arms away from the body slightly so the shoulder blades can travel down the spine just to create a bit more space in the chest. So this is where we come to in the final moments of our practice, a place to rest, restore and reflect. Just allow the breath to soften here, releasing any control that you had over the breath. And just saying to yourself, I let go. Feeling the body supported by your mat. Just taking these few moments to really drink in that energy that you created throughout the practice, to be proud of yourself for showing up and doing the practice. Bringing some feeling back into the physical body. Circling the ankles and wrists, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe taking a big stretch. And then in your own time, keep those eyes closed as you very slowly and gently make your way up to a comfortable seated position. So somewhere similar to how we started. And when you get there, no rush, just place one hand on top of the other at the heart center. Feel all parts of the body connected to your mat. And feel that energy rising, lifting you up, lengthening through the spine, out through the crown of the head. Again, just feel into a place of gratitude and pride for yourself for doing this practice. And we'll finish up with one releasing breath. I invite you to join me. Inhale. Palms together. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, Kat Methven and Samsung UK. It has been an honor to flow with you. Please do share snippets, thoughts, feelings, photos, videos from your practice with us on social media. Use the hashtag #DoWhatYouCan't
I absolutely love that. And show us your ultimate yoga setup at home. Remember, no matter how much space you have got, there is always a way to slide in a little mat and do something for yourself. So thank you again so much for joining, and make sure you check back and do some of the other practices with me as well. I look forward to seeing you on the mat again soon. Bye-bye.